Do you like John Wick? Are you looking for a game where you can take on multiple enemies at once while performing badass CQB takedowns? Well, maybe this is not exactly that, but it's pretty close. This is the closest we can get, I believe. John Wick 4 left a gaping hole that only Splinter Cell Blacklist is a throat-cutting, people-gassing, mind-blowing, looking like a dumbass while trying to be cool simulator. The game was developed by Ubisoft Toronto and published by the League of Cattle Titty Milkers. Released in 2013 on PC, Wii U, Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. The system on which GTA 5 was originally released. Yep, GTA 5 was 2 console generations ago. In fact, it was released on the same year as this game. How do you feel now? Blacklist is an excellent combination of stealth and combat, with its fluid movement system as well as the improved shooting mechanics. The badass mark and execute feature also makes a return when you can take enemies out John Wick style while navigating freely through the environment. And you women stalkers won't be disappointed by the streamlined stealth gameplay either, because unlike Cyberpunk 2077 on release, it actually works. And like Cyberpunk 2077 now, it's actually awesome. Watching people from the shadows is just as satisfying as in real life. If you're up for some sitting around waiting patiently for virtual people to look intently at different objects around an area while turning their unprotected ass at you, instead of spending your limited time on this earth with your family or doing something productive and useful to society, let's take a dive into the John Wick game that nobody talks about. You play as Samantha Fisher, a man in his 60s that moves like a gorilla on crack cocaine and survives this. He doesn't take his shirt off in this game, but I imagine that his lats are so big that he can fly by just flapping his thigh-sized arms. Seriously, this man climbs poles better than most strippers I've seen, which amounts to zero because this is a family-friendly channel. If I could move like this guy, chasing women would be so much easier. Sam is a highly decorated Navy SEAL and a former CIA operative, as well as a hardened veteran, having survived 4 Ubisoft releases before getting fucked and becoming a hobo in Conviction, then pulled out of his retirement home in Blacklist to be further abused by the company. Sam is, to my confusion, played by Eric Johnson in this one and only game, who also provided the voice acting and motion capture for the character, even though it was Michael Ironside who did all the voice acting for the previous installments. Look, I know next to zero thing when it comes to voice acting or motion capture, and I think Eric Johnson did an amazing job voicing Sam in this one and only game. But you gotta admit that, the guy sounds way too young to be voicing a 60-year-old man. Granted, a 60-year-old man on more trenbolone than Michael Hearn. But Eric just lacks the cynicism, the PTSD-induced grime that Michael Ironside brought to the character. The game takes place 2 years after Splinter Cell Conviction, which many considered the game that murdered and ate their entire family, judging by their reaction. In an attempt to appease a wider audience, Ubisoft wanted to turn a long-running series known for its slow and methodical gameplay into something mentally challenged Neanderthals can understand, and pooping the bed in the process. They even have the mark and execute feature that plays the game for you. An improved version of this feature makes a return in Blacklist, and is the reason why this game is cool as fuck. The game starts with a surprisingly unshaky handheld footage of a terrorist group infiltrating someplace and killing a general. 2 years after Third Echelon was discharged by the president, Sam Fisher is appointed the leader of the creatively named Fourth Echelon in an effort to counter the terrorist group in the video, calling themselves Quick quiz time, quick quiz time. Okay, imagine you're a terrorist group, okay? And you're unknown by the world. You are going to make your appearance, right? Your grand appearance. Nobody knows about you yet, and you want to destabilize the world order, okay? Do you A. Silently blow up strategic locations around the world. B. Silently assassinate political figures around the world. Or C. Silently do both of those things. Okay, give you guys exactly 1 second to think. Okay, time's up. Ding 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 ding. If you've chosen C, congratulations, you're a fucking dumbass. Because according to the engineers here, okay, what you need to do is make a cute video telling the world exactly who you are, what you will do, and when you will do it. But you know, in their defense, the engineers want America to pull troops out of the other countries around the world before they blow shit up. But you know, why not do that first? Okay, why not blow shit up first before sending a message? That would make a bigger statement, wouldn't it? And blown is exactly what you will get if you like and subscribe. Because you're a Chad. After literally zero effort, the 4th echelon learns about the engineer's plans.
One new attack every 7 days.
And is given a few days to stop them, conveniently with a timer counting down the exact seconds to their next move, so that we can time our arrival mere minutes before they execute their attacks. The plot of Blacklist is by no means special or innovative, but it serves the purpose of being an excuse for us to non-lethally take down people in a myriad of locations around the world. There are a plethora of optional side missions given to you by the psychos of 4th echelon that takes you all over the world. These act as special challenges as well as playgrounds for you to earn money and test out new weapons of mass destruction from the black market. By the way, who the hell is funding this guy? This has to be a sequel to Manhunt or something, because there's somebody watching and ranking you based on how effectively you murdered your enemies. Feels kind of twisted when you think about it. Missions given by brings the most traditional experience. You sneak around and murder enemies undetected. Similar to in real life, when you waste somebody, you better hide their bodies carefully because the ops will call their entire bloodline for reinforcement should you get caught. Not that I have any experience in corpse disposal or anything. Please, FBI man. Charlie's missions are essentially survival mode. The enemies survive against you. You fight multiple waves of increasingly competent criminals while completing objectives around the map. They say you can knock enemies out instead of killing them, but honestly, the last time I checked, I'm not playing as the Dalai Lama here. So this international terrorist is getting mech dumped whether he believes in karma or not. Maybe he'll be reincarnated as a dog if he was a good person, a dog in China if he was evil. Grim Probable gives you trials to test the extent of your sanity and see how far you can go before succumbing to fucking madness. These missions fail every time you get detected, so you need to be pretty high on the autistic spectrum to succeed. Or just turn off that shit and play something else that's fun, instead of wasting your life away staring at virtual ass. Being a creep in real life is so much more satisfying. Missions given by Bricks are co-op only, so I haven't played a single one. Because I have no fucking friends! The main story has enough twists and turns to keep you engaged throughout the 10 to 12 hours campaign, which is admittedly on the shorter side considering Blacklist is a stealth game. And I'd love to hear what your favorite stealth game is. Feels like it's been a while since we had a good stealth game, I heard that Assassin's Creed Mirage just had a new update with some new parkour improvements and New Game Plus or something. But I still believe that is just, Ubisoft getting away with the least amount of effort they can, okay? Trust me on that. Believe me, if you keep buying that, they will keep making, subpar video games. It's not a return to root, okay? The only word I need to describe the gameplay of Blacklist is smooth. The team behind Blacklist sets out to modernize the tight stealth gameplay that the franchise is known for, bringing innovations as well as streamlining some elements such as noise-based detection, which depends mostly on your gear now. Sam is able to move fluidly throughout the environment, hugging and scaling walls with ease. To further emphasize this, taking down enemies can be done on the run without losing your momentum. In addition to this is the mark and execute system, where Sam will cinematically take down enemies as he runs from one spot to another, performing actual choreographed animations 20% of the time. If you want to do it John Wick, then it helps to activate your your last remaining brain cells and plan ahead instead of just relying on your reactions. But with the improved shooting controls, you can definitely improvise. Unlike the classic Splinter Cell games, it doesn't take a century for Sam to line up his shots anymore. The crystal meth he's been injecting has enhanced his twitch reflex, so aiming is near instantaneous now. All of these elements combine to bring you, in my subjective opinion, some of the most satisfying third-person action gameplay ever. It never feels like you're wasting your time by just waiting. There's always something for you to do, always some new cover to move to or a gadget you can use to distract the enemies. And unlike in Fallout 4, there's a sense of cohesion between the systems that make transitioning from hit and run to flash and bang smooth and enjoyable. This also minimizes the need to save scum, as being detected is not the end of the world, just means that you fucking suck at video games. A word of warning though, this is still a stealth game, so on higher difficulties, enemies can take a full drum mag to the face before even realizing you're shooting at them. After completing a mission, your balls would then be measured and put into 3 categories based on your depravity. You get no balls if all you do was cower in fear and whimper in the dark as the Sigmas hunt you down for the weekly bondage session. You're ranked huge balls if you play the game the way it's meant to be played. Genocide, because if nobody's alive, then there's no one to detect you. True stealth. And people who play the game like Call of Duty are ranked gigantic balls because COD players have all slept with your mom at some point. But seriously, who the hell plays the game that way? Right? This is a stealth game. Have some standard for yourself. Degenerate? Take a shower. Whether you like to play the game like a normal person or a feline animal, you have a vast array of murder instruments at your disposal in this game. Unlike Metal Hellsinger, where each weapon has its own purpose, the guns in Blacklist are mostly here to satisfy your shooting needs. Weapons from the same categories function quite similar to each other. There are more than 30 weapons for you to choose from, ranging from lethal options such as assault rifles, SMGs, shotguns, and the trusty pistols, to non-lethal options such as the taser and a crossbow that fires a variety of specialized bolts. And to aid you in your female stalking endeavors, you are equipped with cool spy gadgets like the goggles that can see through walls, flying drones with shocking darts, and ultra 8K cameras. Most useful would be the hidden Airbnb bathroom cameras that can be placed anywhere as well as shoot knockout gas. If your targets won't stand still, you can lay a variety of mines to disarm this leg, or if you had enough with their bullshit, then you have straight up grenades. Just grenades. The graphics in this game is what I like to call no-frills graphics. Though published 10 years ago, a sad and scary notion to think about, the graphics in Blacklist still holds up great. The game looks clean with no unnecessary effects like motion blur or chromatic aberration, though the lens flare goes harder than that NFT convention that blinded a bunch of people. And when you're damaged, say goodbye to your vision because, you know, look, just look. What the fuck is going on? You're gonna be hearing this anxiety-inducing sound a lot. Which admittedly ruins the immersion of the game. I do feel like sound is one of the weak points of Splinter Cell Blacklist. I'm not saying that it's bad or anything, but guns lack that oomph effect when you shoot. If you want a game that does sound really well, a game that blows your fucking eardrums, take a look at my review for Radionaut. And you can see the night and day difference between the gun sounds. The weapons in this game are so wimpy. Like the pistols sound exactly like you are shooting a squirt gun at the enemies. If you shoved me against the wall, backed my scrumptious booty into a corner, and I had no choices left, if I absolutely have to, under a huge amount of physical, mental, cock and ball torture, I will admit the one thing that Ubisoft actually did right, besides sabotaging itself in recent years, is that it brought us the Splinter Cell franchise, which are some of the best stealth action video games to ever grace the earth. It was from this very franchise that I learned how to stalk women at night. These games achieved 2 monumental feats. The first one is teaching future serial killers that you make less noise when you crouch walk. And the second being permanently destroying my fucking lower back for imitating Sam Fisher, pretending to be a badass instead of a fucking waste of space. Know that unlike these games, women will call the police if you sneak around in the dark because you're not actually invisible. Right off the bat, being released after conviction means Blacklist has to fight an uphill battle. The game has to succeed in redeeming the Splinter Cell franchise as well as achieving the impossible of making enough money to appease the greedy fuckers at Ubisoft, which the game seemingly failed to because the franchise was put on hold after Blacklist was released. Sam Fisher would not make another appearance until 2018 when Ubisoft decided to track him out of his retirement home for another milking session. He would be playable as Zero. Ugh. In Ubisoft's flagship cash cow, Rainbow Six Siege in 2020. This is but a calculated move from Ubisoft to appease the long-time fans who just want to see Splinter Cell return to its rightful place. Zero is Sam Fisher in appearance only, since there's no trait of the character we loved, no stealth gameplay, no climbing, just people being stuck in an endless loop of motherfuckers wall-banging each other through 4 layers of floors. And with fucking X-Defiant, as well as a remake of the first game looming in the future, it is safe to say that the franchise is already getting its cheeks clapped. Blacklist is on sale pretty often, so if you ever want to live out your John Wick fantasies, then make sure you keep an eye out for that. But if you're looking for something more realistic or tactical, take a look at my review for Ready or Not, a game that does the tactical gameplay really well. Subscribe to my channel here and watch my other reviews here. Follow me on Twitter for the latest update. There's so much planned for this channel. Stay tuned to witness my gradual descent into insanity. See you guys in your sleep.